this video, we're going to be looking at the volume problem from our section 8.6. We'll be factoring trinomials. So what we have here is a box. That box has three dimensions: a length, a width, and a height. The prompt or the question says this box has a volume of 2x cubed minus 2x squared minus 24x. Let's stop and classify that polynomial and bring us all the way back to our first section. This is a cubic because of the third degree. We have 1, 2, 3 terms. So we would call that a cubic trinomial. What are the three possible linear expressions for the dimensions of the box? Now that seems kind of like a complicated question, but what you really need to think is factor. Factor it. That's it. Factor that polynomial. How do we do that? Well, we decide what can we pull out or divide out of every term. Every term up there has a 2 in it, so I can pull a 2 out of all the coefficients, and we can pull out an x out of all of the terms. So we're going to divide a 2x out of every term. When we do that, we pull it out front of the parentheses. 2x cubed divided by 2x is x squared. I need to have subtractions because it's 2x cubed minus 2x squared minus 24x. 2x squared divided by 2x would just leave an x. And 24x divided by 2x, the x's would completely cancel and it would leave a 12. What I now need to do is factor that remaining quadratic 1, 2, 3 trinomial. What goes into 12? 12 and 1, 3 and 4, and 2 and 6. How do I decide which pair to use when I unfoil or factor this? Well, remember, the signs tell you a lot. Because this is a negative 12, I know I need to have one positive and one negative. I also need to add up to a negative 1. In front of this x term is a negative 1. So I ask myself, can I add up to a negative 1 from any form of 12 and 1? And the answer is no. I could get a 13. Could get an 11 if I make the 1 negative, but there's no way I'm getting a 1. So 12 and 1 are out. How about with 3 and 4? I could get a 7 if they're both positive, but again, I know one of them has to be negative. Can I get a negative 1? Again, there's a 1 in front of this x, and the answer is yes. That's my winning pair as long as the 4 is negative. And that's from our previous sections. So if you're struggling with that, go back and watch our videos on factoring quadratic trinomials. I now know that I need to have a positive 3 and a negative 4. The only way I can have my lead terms or my firsts is with x and x. So don't forget to drop that 2x down into your answer. It's one of the factors. And then I'd have x plus 3 times x minus 4. These are going to represent the length, the width, and the height of the box. So really when it says to find those three possible expressions for the length and the width and the height, which are the dimensions, again, remember you just need to factor it. And our final answer is 2x times x plus 3 times x minus 4.